I won't give any identifying information. I won't give any identifying Jennifer Dent.
Jen motherfucking Dent, President Jen motherfucking Dent, President Jen motherfucking Dent, President Jen motherfucking Dent, President.
Hello Poppets, how's everybody doing today? I hope you're doing well. Please find me on any of these social media platforms and follow me and come watch the shit happen on a daily basis because I'm a shit magnet. Speaking of shit magnet, here's a story about when I taught nursing school. Nursing school, as I have said before, is stressful for everyone. I can tell you that it is one of the hardest things I have ever done in my life, but teaching it is not for the faint of heart. Here's a story about probably the dumbest nursing student that ever did enter the doors of the nursing school where I taught. I will not give any identifying information because honestly, I don't remember what this girl's name was. I hold no ill will for her because she was one of those people in life, you know what I'm talking about when you meet somebody and they are just literally stupid. And I don't mean that in a mean way. I don't mean that as like I'm calling her stupid. I mean, honestly, she was stupid. I have no idea how she got into nursing school. The only thing I can think is that she got through the prereqs, probably with the help of her mother. That's the only way I think she made it to nursing school. If I had to bet money, I would bet that her mother did her work for her. I don't know. All I'm saying is this girl had just dead eyes. She would come to school and she was just stupid. And I would think to myself, like, how did this poor soul get in here? Like, this girl is never gonna make it. But you know, you can't just kick somebody out because of the way they look or the way that they act. But this poor girl, I actually felt sorry for her. I actually felt sorry for how dumb she was. She didn't do that well in class, but she managed to squeak by on her tests and pass them, but she wasn't like a stellar student that way. But when it came to common sense and like her doing what she was supposed to do, skills-wise, it was just this girl was blank. I mean, like I said, she was dead in the eyes. Nobody was home. I'm talking like nobody was home. I taught the very first semester and I also taught the second semester. When you start nursing school, basically the first semester, by the time you get done with the first semester of nursing school, you are pretty much on the level of a nurse's aide with some nursing education, of course, built in there in the classroom. But as far as the skills that you can perform when you finish the first semester, you do learn how to do injections. You do learn how to like put in nasogastric tubes. You learn how to put in Foley catheters. But that's about as much skill as you're going to get in the first semester of nursing school. You learn how to do head-to-toe assessments, but as far as providing care, you're basically only at the level of a nursing assistant or a certified nurse's aide by the time you finish the first semester. So that should give you a little bit of an idea of how far the skills go in first semester. In first semester, you spend a lot of time in the classroom before you ever make it to the skills lab. So it goes classroom, skills lab, and clinical. And you don't do a lot of clinical in first semester because there's a whole lot to learn in the classroom and a whole lot of practicing on each other and on mannequins in the lab before we ever let you put your hand on a real patient. This girl just could not function in the skills lab. It was like watching a mentally incapacitated person. It was like shocking to even try to watch. She wasn't doing it on purpose. She wasn't being an asshole because there were a lot of students who would just do shit like that on purpose. And you could sniff them out quickly. But this girl she just couldn't hang. Simple things she could not wrap her head around. This is part of nursing school that I don't miss. I never would understand why adult students would bring their parents to school and have their parents try to get us to let them stay in school, or parents would come and like try to tell us off about stuff. Because for you to be in nursing school, first of all, you have had to have gone to college for about 2 years before you even get into the nursing school that I taught at, because we didn't teach the prereqs. We were a nursing school based in a actual hospital. So you had to have gone to college for about 2 years to get your prereqs before you ever step foot in our nursing school. And so our nursing students were adults. And for the life of me, I never understood why any of them would ever bring their parents to school, but a lot of them did. When we would fail them out or when we would tell them something they didn't like to hear, they would bring their parents. And that was a real pain in the ass. But this girl had failed something in the skills lab. It was a very basic skill that she had failed. And I think by that time, me and another instructor that I taught with had pulled her aside and been like, look, this just is not for you. If you are having this much trouble at this level, this is not for you and it's not going to work out. And she basically was like, I mean, there was nobody home as far as up here. So she left, and sure as shit, here she comes back with her mother. And her mother comes to my office and sits down and is like, you don't understand how hard we've worked for her to get here. You don't understand how bad I want her to do this. And the girl's just sitting there like, the whole time her mom is talking, like she's not interjecting anything in this conversation. She's just basically sitting there letting her mother talk for her. It became very evident that the only reason the girl was in nursing school is, I guess, her mother wanted her there. I guess we had a lot of students whose parents were living vicariously through the students. Like perhaps the mother had wanted to be a nurse and never made it. So now she wanted her daughter to be a nurse. And see, this is another part of nursing school that would get on my nerves, is we would have goals and objectives and guidelines. We were supposed to follow them, but a lot of the time I would follow the goals, objectives, and guidelines, and then upper level management would be like, oh, you're too hard on them, or we got to give them another chance because legally this and that. And I'm like, okay, well, if they kill somebody, I've got it documented that I said their ass need to get the fuck up out of here. But if you want to let them stay here and try to kill somebody, cool, okay. I mean, that's how I would feel. That's a lot of reason that I left and stopped teaching. Somehow this mother, I don't know if she involved the president or the vice president, but somehow she talked us into letting her daughter have another chance. And I was just like, this is just unsafe. And it wasn't, I didn't have any ill will toward the girl. I didn't dislike the girl. But the thing is, like, it's scary. If I'm going to take you in the hospital into clinical, I need to know that you're going to listen and that you can follow basic, simple instructions. You have to remember, I don't just have the students in clinical. I have the students and the patients that they're taking care of. I'm responsible for the shit they do to the patients. You know what I'm saying? So I was like terrified to ever take this girl to clinical. But I told the mother, I was like, okay, she's got one more chance. One more chance to not follow the rules. One more chance to mess something up in the skills lab. And she's gonna have to go. The very next day, here she comes. And I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. This is dangerous. But I didn't want to just fail her. So in skills lab, they had to have certain things with them at all times, or they were unsat and they failed that day. They had to have a stethoscope. They had to have their name tag on. They had to have a watch. They had to have a pen. They had to have a pen light. Things like that. So that day she came into nursing school, we had a lab day, a skills lab day. And when everybody got in the skills lab, I said, all right, everybody, hold up your stethoscope. Everybody held up their stethoscope but her. All right, everybody, show me your watch. Everybody holds up their arm. They got a watch on. She ain't got a watch on. Pen light, pen, went through the whole thing. And so I said, okay, everybody go to your stations. And I said to her, blank, come here, come with me. She comes out into the hallway and I said, where's your stethoscope? Where's your watch? Where's your pen? Where's your pen light? I just said, then you know what this means, right? And she was like, I said, you failed, you can go home. And I thought sure as shit she would bring her mother with her back to school, but she didn't, thank God. You know, nursing school is hard. Like I have said many times before, and I'll say it over and over again, I was a 4.0 perfect student, dean's list, president's list. I was an excellent student. When I got to nursing school, I failed my first test with a 56, and it took me a while to get used to nursing school and to actually figure out what the fuck was going on. It is not easy. It is not for the faint of heart. It's a necessary evil if you want to be a nurse. It is short-term pain for long-term gain, but I'll tell you that short-term pain feels like a lifetime. I really don't want to make you not want to go to nursing school, but you just need to know what to be prepared for when you get there, because it's not easy. And if you're struggling with regular studying, you're gonna struggle in nursing school. But anyway, guys, that was my story for the day. I hope you enjoyed it. Maybe it was informative. I don't know. Please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and if you have, thank you so much. Please make sure you click the little bell icon down below so it will tell you every time I put up a new video. I do videos on Tuesdays and Saturdays, and I try to do a vlog on Fridays. So come back and see me next time. I love you. Bye! So that night, you know, he went out to all these different bars with his baby water buffalo, and when it was time to go back to the ship, he actually took the baby water buffalo with him to the ship.